everyone, it's Stephanie here and welcome back to the MFT YouTube channel. In today's video, I am sharing a project for A Very Crafty Holiday. I'm going to create a project that can be used for either a hostess gift or a party favor. I have seen snow globe mason jars for a lot of years and always wanted to try making one, but I want to do it with paper and I don't want to have any water in it. So I'm going to create it a little bit differently. And I have a twist tie here, or a cable tie, which I will share in just a minute what I'm going to do with that. I have some Gorilla Glue and I also have some glitter, some various ones here. These are kind of old, so I'm not sure if they're still available, but you can use any type of white or clear glitter that you want to kind of replicate the snow inside your snow globe. And then I also have some stamps here that I pulled out just to show you some different ideas that you could use to create a scene that will kind of go up into the snow globe and give you a winter or a holiday design. So I'm going to end up using the tree from this set here, which is Holiday Penguins. And I'm also going to use a couple of the characters from this Dashing Deer set. I really like the idea of having a deer with a Christmas tree, and I'm also going to incorporate that cute little bunny. The main thing that you want to do when you're picking out the images you're going to include is just make sure that they're small enough to fit inside the mason jar. You don't want to do all of your coloring and get everything ready and then find out the images don't fit. Okay, so let's go ahead and start to work on the assembly. So this is all going to be created in the actual lid, and we're not going to be using the mason jar right now. And what I need to do is create a little piece at the bottom of this lid that I can use to anchor my stamped images to. So I just came up with this idea. You can pretty much use anything, but I just took a twist tie and I cut it into 3 pieces. And I'm going to use some Gorilla Glue to glue these 3 pieces together. I chose this because it's a super quick, fast drying glue. If you do use it, just be super careful. It loves to stick to your fingers. I probably should have had gloves on to do this gluing, but I took my time and just kind of made sure I didn't get it on my skin. And I know that it's going to be strong enough to hold the plastic pieces together and then adhere it inside the lid. Now you could just use paper for this if you wanted to. I just wanted to have something super sturdy so that over time it doesn't kind of fall over. I know that this plastic is going to stay in place and it's going to hold up my images really well. So I glued that in with my Gorilla Glue kind of towards the back a little bit, and I'm going to let that dry and start to work on my images. So I stamped out the 3 images that I want to include, and I colored them with my Copic markers and then die cut them with the coordinating dies. And now I'm going to use a white gel pen to add some snow detail to the images. Because we're including them in the snow globe, which is going to look like it's snowing inside of, I want to make sure that the images indicate that it's snowing as well. So to do that, you just want to take a white gel pen, or you could take paint and just splatter it on top of the images. And you just want to go over the entire image everywhere that you can on the coloring, just to make it look like there is snow on them. I like to keep it pretty organic and just kind of dot all over, but I do make a point to kind of color in some larger dots as well, just so it really stands out on the images. Now once I have all that done and I've let my gel pen dry, I'm going to add some more glue onto the front part of that plastic piece, and I'm going to press my images against it. You can see here I have the tree that I've attached on there. I'm going to add the deer next, and I just kept adding the glue directly to the plastic base. That way I wasn't kind of making a mess on the stamped images. Now for the little bunny here, I wanted him to have a little bit of dimension from the tree and the deer. I didn't want to have him completely flat as well. So I put some foam adhesive on him and I adhered him to the tree and made sure to put the foam adhesive at the bottom as well so that he would adhere against that little plastic piece. And now we have our little scene created in our lid. And because I used the clear cable ties, it's not super noticeable with the characters, but I did want to add a little bit of glitter to the bottom of the lid as well, just so we had some snow that stayed put when we shook the mason jar. So I just added some glue to the bottom, sprinkled in that glitter, and then just kind of let it adhere and kind of dusted out any extra. And now we have that little bit of snow that's not going to move. Now we can go ahead and work on the mason jar part. So I'm taking the 2 different glitters and I'm dumping a bunch in there. It's completely up to you how much glitter you want to add. It'll just depend on how much glitter you want inside. But keep in mind that when your snow globe is sitting flat, if you have a lot of glitter in there, it's going to cover up your images at the bottom. Once I had the scene completed and put together with the snow globe, I was able to see how much space I had at the top. So I used that empty space to tie around a piece of twine 3 times. And then I also stamped out a sentiment from the Mini Merry Messages stamp set onto Kraft cardstock. And I just kind of cut it with my paper trimmer to look like a tag. And then I just kind of tied that on there and did a double tie and then just cut off the end pieces. I didn't want a bow on there. I wanted to keep this kind of looking rustic, and I really like the look of just doing it that way where you don't have a big bow as well. So this should have been the end of the creation of this, but something that was bothering me was when I assembled the snow globe and set it down, all of the snow fell to the bottom and there was none in the top. So what I did is I took some stickles and a paintbrush and I just very loosely went inside of the jar with the stickles and kind of painted it onto the clear area. And then I closed the mason jar and shook it up, and all of that glitter kind of stuck to the stickles on the sides of the jar. And now you can see this really cool effect where it looks like there's snow actually everywhere in the jar, even when it's standing upright. So that completes our snow globe mason jar. This was a really fun project to make. I have so many more ideas for different images that I can use inside of these. And since we weren't using water, we were easily able to use our stamped images. I hope this gave you some ideas on ways you can create a really fun gift for a hostess of a party or to give out at your holiday parties. I can guarantee your guests would really appreciate this beautiful handmade item. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.